In this video, we're going to talk about manifestation and whether you need to sacrifice to actually manifest what you want in life. Now, manifestation, just that word alone, can bring up so many emotions for so many people. For some, it feels almost magical, like this endless well of possibilities. For other people, it brings up questions like, what am I doing wrong, or why do I feel stuck? Why have I not yet manifested what I want out of life? So today, let's dive into one of the most debated topics in this world of manifestation. Do you really need to sacrifice to manifest your desires? And stick around to the very end because the truth might surprise you. Hi, I'm Jeff, and I teach practical and spiritual methods to organize and empower your life. So now let's get into this question of, do you need to sacrifice in order to manifest your dream life? So before we fully answer this question, let's set the stage a little bit with some background. So first of all, let's talk about the importance of exchange in the universe. Everything operates on this principle of give and take. Everything is in flux. Energy is constantly coming and going in different ways. So this exchange of energy is really essential for balance in our world. And we see this play out in so many different ways. We give and we take, and others give and take, and in all aspects of our life, there's constantly just this state of change. Things coming and going, they're in our life, they're out of our life. We're giving energy to something, we're receiving it somewhere else. This is just a common theme throughout the universe. So now, in this world of manifestation, it's no different. And one thing that we have to do is that often to receive something new, we have to make space for it. And in order to make that space, we have to let go of the old. So this isn't necessarily a sacrifice in a painful way, but it does require releasing what no longer serves you in order to create the space for what it is you truly want. And so here's a question for you to think about. What are you willing to let go of in exchange for your desire? Is it an outdated belief, a limiting story, maybe a bad habit that's holding you back? What are you willing to part ways with to create that space for what you truly want in your life? So another interesting aspect of sacrificing in order to manifest is this. Sacrifice isn't always about suffering. It's often about transformation. So the person you are right now has created the life that you're living. It couldn't be any other way. And that's okay. But the person who has the life that you desire, that person is on a different frequency. That person is operating with a different mindset. And what's interesting about this, if we really break it down, we in a sense have to sacrifice certain parts of ourselves in order to become a different person. Because one thing that I heard one time, and it really struck me, it hurt a little bit if I'm being honest, but it was spot on. I watched, I can't remember which channel it was, but there was one guy on YouTube just talking about this topic of creating your ideal life. And one thing that he said that really resonated with me, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was, if you were going to accomplish those dreams, you would have done it already. Like in a way, what he was saying was, in your current state, you haven't yet become the person that can achieve those things. So there's a really important distinction there. It's not saying that you can't do that, but you have to become a different person in order to manifest the things that you want. So that stung a little bit because at the time I had really been working on myself. I had been working really hard in my business. And it took a while for that statement to really sink in, for me to see like the truth in it. That it's not so much about just manifesting something out of thin air, but it's also about becoming that person who already has that life. What does that person act like? What are the thoughts that person has? What is the everyday existence of that person? And the more you can become that person, the more you can manifest. So that concept can actually hit pretty hard, right? This idea that if you were going to do it, you would have done it already. If you were going to accomplish that dream life, you would have done it. However, that doesn't mean you can't become the person who can accomplish those things. So it's a reminder that to truly shift and to manifest the life that we want, we have to make decisions as the future version of ourselves, not the present one, stuck in doubt and unsure as to whether things are going to work out. So continuing on this topic, let's now talk about behaviors, thoughts, attention, emotions, all these things, how they create our identity. Everything you think, feel, and do shapes your identity. And your identity, my identity, is like a magnet in that it pulls in experiences that match its frequency. So in essence, if your current behaviors are rooted in procrastination and fear, feelings of lack, etc., you'll continue to attract circumstances that mirror those states. But when you shift your attention, your emotions, and your thoughts to align with your desire, to align with that version of yourself who already has what you want, then your frequency changes. So it's not just about actions, it's also about your entire state of being and embodying that future version of yourself who already has what you desire. So here you need to ask yourself, once you know what you want to achieve, then how would that future version of you respond to current situations? What are the thoughts that that person has? And now make sure you have those thoughts. How does that person feel? What are their emotions? And then again, instill in yourself those feelings, those emotions. You want to start embodying that frequency of that end state right now. This is where the real work begins. Bridging this gap between your current reality and your current self and your desired reality and future self who already has what you want. And the emotional reaction that you have to this gap is really important. Many people feel frustration, jealousy, or even doubt when they think about their desires. Every one of us is always overcome at times with feelings of like feeling unworthy, like we're not good enough, or that it's just not possible for us to obtain what we want. But the problem is that these negative emotions anchor us to our current state and our current self. So instead, when you see this vision and you think about this future version of yourself, let it inspire you, not discourage you, because that desired self is not far away. It's a blueprint essentially that you just need to step into, and you can step into it right this moment and start feeling and acting as if you already have that reality. So one thing you can do throughout the day is close your eyes for a moment and just visualize that you're living that life. What does that feel like? How do you walk, speak, and think? How do you respond to reality? Because every time you align emotionally with that version of you, you start to shrink that gap between your current reality and your desired one. So now let's come back to that question of sacrifice that we mentioned early in the video. The sacrifice required in manifestation isn't about suffering. It's about letting go of resistance, because resistance shows up as fear, attachment, or clinging to your current old identity. So when you release that resistance, what you do is you make space for that future version of yourself to come in. So think of it sort of like decluttering your closet. To make space for a new wardrobe, you don't destroy yourself. You simply let go of the old clothes, donate them, throw them out, that you no longer want to wear. So it's not a sacrifice, really. In a sense, you can think of it as a trade. You're trading the old for the new. You're trading the outdated for a new, amazing, vibrant version of yourself, and it's totally worth it. So ultimately, manifestation is not about sacrificing your joy or your freedom. It's about stepping into alignment with your higher self, the version of you that already exists on a different frequency and already has all the things that you desire. Remember, it's not that you lose yourself in the process. You really find the version of yourself that was waiting for you all along. It just took you some time to step into that blueprint. So my question is, what are you ready to let go of today so that you can step into your most abundant self tomorrow? If you found this message helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to be notified when I release more similar content in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.